The four horsemen of the fighting nerds for the UFC absolutely took over last year, and this year, the big old 2025, before GTA 6 drops, they're trying to do the same thing, okay? Gene Silva, Kyle Borralho, Mauricio, Monkey D. Ruffy, and Carlos Prates are going to be taking on opponents all between August and September, all within a 30-day period. And today, because I love the fighting nerds, and honestly, they've kind of been talked about so much this year, but also it's like if you're not following Full Violence, you're also not really seeing them on the daily. So I'm going to be going over kind of an early prediction for all of their upcoming fights. And to be fair, the matchmaking for pretty much every one of their fights is pretty good. It can kind of go either way. Some of these guys have a much more realistic chance of winning. They're bigger favorites than others. And some of them, I could see them coming up short here and taking a really rough loss for the UFC, but we're going to have to go over it today here, man. So starting off with the first one we got here, man, this is honestly one of the closest ones I feel like that we have. Probably the closest one, okay? Diego Lopes taking on Gene Silva. I really like this matchmaking. Now, obviously, I feel like most of us would have fucking preferred them to do Yair Rodriguez fucking going out there and crying for a fucking title shot. He ran away from Lopes, man. That matchup would have been so fucking good on paper. Inside the cage and the build-up and the beef, whatever the fuck, all of it. But I'm still cool with this fight, if that makes sense. It's like if you sign up to watch The Office, but you end up getting like Parks and Rec or some shit instead. It's like, all right, I'll take it, all right? It's around like the same ballpark, because this fight specifically has banger written all over. Lopes is such a high-level finishing artist. Gene Silva is a knockout artist on the exact same thing, and he's riding a lot more of the current momentum right now. I mean, a year ago, Lopes took over 2024. He's active as fuck, and he's getting knockout win after win and back and forth decision after decision against Lopes, or not Lopes, fucking Ige and fucking Ortega, plubby man Ortega, looking like a motherfucking walrus out there, but it's still a good win, and Lopes making his way to a title shot. I feel like over the past year or two, he's really earned a lot more experience than Gene Silva has. Like, Gene Silva's biggest win is over Bryce Mitchell, which is a fantastic win. He did it just as good, if not better, than a guy like Ilia Topuria, who's very close to becoming the fucking go to the sport within the next few years, okay? So that's a good win. But in terms of that, like, Gene Silva, I feel like the biggest thing going against it for this matchup against Lopes is the experience difference. Like, Gene Silva, the grappling from Gene Silva on the offensive and defensive end of things seemed to improve so fucking much. Like, submitting Bryce Mitchell and shuffling off a lot of his fucking takedowns, like, it was massive improvements from when, I think it was like Charles Jourdain, it was some kind of fucking Canadian, to where he was taking down Gene Silva a fucking year or two ago. So massive improvements from the whole fucking team. I'm gonna get to that with guys like Ruffy and shit like that, but in general, the fighting nerds seem like they're really prepping for good takedown defense, brick wall fucking takedown defense, because I feel like the team already knows that Silva, Borralho, all these guys, I mean, Borralho the least out of all of them, but more so, I mean, these guys are primarily fucking strikers. Borralho kind of does it all, but Silva, a fucking massive power puncher who's just trying to take your fucking lights out, okay? Prates and Ruffy are the same fucking thing. So Silva is gonna go in here, okay? He's trying to, not really, I feel like, push a very heavy pace forward. Like, the guy, he is a good pressure fighter, but honestly, he's a bit more of a fucking sniper, I feel like, than anything. Like, the power is sneaky as fuck. You got Joe Rogan being like, that power's sneaky, man. It comes out of nowhere, man. People forget. You're in his world now, friend. I mean, Gene Silva, his power, it just seems like it comes out of fucking nowhere. You're watching the fight, they're having a little back and forth. Silva lands one right hand out of fucking nowhere, and all of it, and he's fast as fuck too, and he's precise as well. So he lands one right hand out of fucking nowhere, and all of a sudden his opponent is on his ass on the mat. So Silva has massive power, but Lopes does as well, and you could argue that Lopes is the more well-rounded fighter and the more experienced fighter. I mean, he has twice as many fights damn near, and a lot more fights in the UFC. Not too many more fights in the UFC. It's kind of deceiving, all right? But at the end of the day, more high-level experience. Gene Silva kind of just showed up in the top 10, and he's a very promising prospect. A lot of people think that Gene Silva can KO Volk. He has the power and the speed and now the necessary takedown defense and defensive grappling necessary to be able to compete with a guy like Volk, but there's still a couple of question marks with Gene Silva, like how is he in a fucking 5-rounder? This is his first 5-rounder, I believe, in the UFC, and it's his first main event. So how is he going to do in terms of the pacing? Is he going to start out trying to really aim for a fucking early knockout, or is he going to kind of do what Prates did against Gary and kind of drag it out for a 5-rounder? Who the fuck knows here? But either way, this fight just has absolute fight of the year candidate written all over it. My early prediction is going to be Gene Silva, but there's something in my fucking gut, man, that's telling me that Lopes can really win this one. Like, I'm surprised that he is the I'm surprised but not surprised that he is the underdog. This fight kind of reeks of pick'em odds, in my opinion. Like, it is a very 50-50 fight, in my opinion. Like, maybe I'm missing something, but Lopes, man, he has the grappling advantage. He has the experience advantage. He's been in 5-rounders before. He sets a very high pace. He's comfortable in a dogfight. He as well has crazy fucking knockout power. He in general has a lot of edges to where, and the slight age advantage to where he's still in his prime, but that extra experience, especially at the UFC high level, could really fucking help him out here, because Gene Silva, maybe he'll slip up. Maybe he's not ready for the grappling of Lopes. Maybe the power on the feet and the striking of Lopes is just better, but at the end of the day, I don't think that's the case. I think Gene Silva is a bit more of the sniper. He's a bit more precise. He's a bit more technical with it, but he has the same power that Lopes does, but he just has his chromosomes in a bit more of the right place. Well, I can't even say that, okay? Both these guys are kind of on the spectrum a bit here, okay? I gotta be fucking honest, okay? We have the king of Tism bout right here, but I love this fight. It's gonna be a banger. It's gonna end in some kind of knockout. I feel like it's a pick-em odds, or at least it should be, but Gene Silva's kind of a semi's not a big word, but a semi-big favorite here, and I'm gonna be going with him as my early pick here. Moving on up next, I mean, let's go on to the Paris card here, okay? Mauricio Monkey D. Ruffy trying to become the king of the fucking Pirates. I mean, the king of the UFC, and he's taking on Benoit Saint-Denis here, okay? This matchup, I think it's deceivingly competitive. Like, if you look at it on paper, a lot of people are saying that Ruffy's gonna fucking marauder his way through this guy. We have a marauder versus a marauder fucking matchup here, okay? Mauricio Ruffy, a lot of people are saying he's too slick on the feet. He's too powerful. He's riding so much momentum. He's younger, and, well, these guys are the exact same fucking age, okay? But in general, he has a lot more momentum on his side, a lot more confidence. Like, BSD, he's coming off a win, but it was over a Canadian jabroni that I already forgot the fucking name of the guy, and you probably already forgot the fucking name of the guy. And no, my friend, that does not make you a casual, okay? BSD, he had to kind of get back in the win column there. I feel like he was going to get fucked up by Joel Alvarez in retrospect here, so he probably got saved by the bell there. His family and his soul is goddamn thankful that Joel Alvarez had to pull the fuck out of the fight. But BSD, man, he does have a chance to win this fight. I don't know what the betting odds are going to be, but he has the grappling advantage. He's fought, I feel like, higher level competition in the UFC, fighting guys like fucking Renato Moicano, fighting guys like Dustin Poirier. People forget, man, BSD, dude, this guy was a minus 250 favorite against Dustin Poirier, and now everyone's saying he's the worst fighter at lightweight in the lightweight rankings. And honestly, that's pretty fair. Lightweight is fucking stacked, especially in terms of the rankings. I feel like a lot of prospects outside of it, like Mauricio Ruffy, are going to be able to beat BSD, because although he does have kind of experience now that he's been racking up in terms of the ranked level opponents, and even though he does have the grappling advantage here against Mauricio Ruffy, and he knows how to hang in a dogfight scenario, like the things that worry me here is that Mauricio Ruffy, he's going to be faster, he's going to be more precise, and he's probably going to hit fucking harder. He's more dynamic on the feet, he's more versatile. Like BSD, he has poor striking defense, he's very fucking hittable, he can get cracked, he can get caught, he can get fucking beat up on the ground, be a ground and pound, he can get fucking cracked on the feet and knocked to the goddamn mat. Okay, we saw that with Poirier, and then we saw Moicano. I mean, Moicano is levels above on the ground what we've seen out of Ruffy, but Ruffy, we just don't know. We just don't fucking know with him. Like, you gotta assume with the improvements that we've seen out of Prates against Gary in the takedown offense, and the shit we've seen out of Lopes on the offensive and defense, or not Lopes, Silva on the offensive and defensive end of things, like, you gotta assume that Ruffy, and Borralho as well, he's super fucking well-rounded, so you gotta assume that Ruffy is being prepped to have good enough takedown defense to keep this fight standing. If this fight is standing, I feel like BSD's poor fucking head movement, his poor fucking footwork, his poor chin as of late, not to fucking just assume that Ruffy's gonna fucking round one KO him, but BSD, he's been a bit chinny. He's got beat the fuck up over his past few fights, okay? And it took a Canadian jabroni, a fucking jobber out of the works, to really get BSD a win here. So I think BSD, he is solid. He is solidly well-rounded. He's an alright fucking striker with good power behind his shots, and his grappling is solid. We thought BSD was going to be the fucking champion. Remember when people were talking about Makhachev versus BSD, and now they're talking about Topuria versus Ruffy? Everybody's got to pump the fucking brakes, but this fight's alright. This is fucking good matchmaking. I think BSD has a real chance. Don't be fooled by when Ruffy comes out as like a minus 400 fucking favorite. But I'm going with Ruffy here, man. I say around 2 KO. I say BSD is going to be very heavy on the wrestling end of things in the early goings of the fight. I think he's really going to try and immediately take this one to the fucking mats. I would say within the first minute or two of the fight. I don't think BSD is afraid of making it a stinker. Usually he puts on bangers. Usually he has really fun fights. He's either getting crazy fucking finishes or he's getting finished fucking crazily, okay? So BSD, he puts on constant entertainment and excitement at the fucking cost of his own chromosomes here, but I think he's going to go out there early goings of the fight and really try and wrestle heavy here. And Mauricio Ruffy, if his takedown defense holds up or it doesn't hold up, whatever the fuck, I think the knockout is going to come in the second round here, okay? BSD, I think he's a bit fucking chinny as of late. I don't think there's anything in his skill set that's really going to stand out enough to be high level to where Mauricio Ruffy is fucking getting submitted or fucking knocked out in his own regard. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going with Ruffy here. This is a deceivingly close-ish fight, but it's also fucking not at the same time. I don't know how the fuck to word it here, okay? I'm just saying people forget, man, about BSD, but Ruffy, I'm a big fan of the guy. He's my favorite of the fighting nerds. I think he's going to take this one. I think it's a big spot for him next. We're slowly moving up in competition, okay? It's nothing too crazy. He's going from like Jamie Malarkey to Bobby Green to BSD. Benoit Saint motherfucking Denis, okay? So it's nothing crazy here, but I'm rooting for Ruffy here and promising prospect to invest in, especially if we really see the grappling tested. That's going to be the big question mark for this fight, okay? Moving on to the main event for this one. I was saying Lopes versus Silva. This is a really close fight. This one is as well. Imavov versus fucking Borralho, because Jesus, man, okay. What I love about this fight is that it's a proper #1 contendership fight. And these are the best kinds of fucking main events, or the best kinds of just high level stakes that you want, especially around the same time as the middleweight title fight. Like, that's perfect, okay? You got the winner of Chimaev versus DDP. Whoever wins that is gonna run over the division probably the next few fucking years, okay? DDP has a chance to become the middleweight GOAT. And Imavov versus Borralho a couple weeks later is perfect, because you could run these guys, Imavov or Borralho versus the winner of the title fight, December, January, February. It doesn't matter, but at least it's clear fucking cut. So I love this fight. Both guys are deserving. I feel like more so Imavov, to be honest, okay? There's a reason why he's the favorite. You look at his record and it is a bit less impressive at first glance, but the guys that he's losing to are usually very high fucking level. And the win streak that he's on right now, in my opinion, it's not as consistent as Borralho's. Borralho is on a longer streak in general, but his best win is Cannonier, and Imavov has already fought fucking 2 or 3 guys since Cannonier, and he's kind of moving up in competition. He's fought the Brendan Allens, he's fought the Delidzes, he's fought the Cannoniers, he's fought the Adesanyas, okay? Borralho kind of just has the Cannonier win, and a fucking Paul Craig win right behind it, okay? So Borralho is very well rounded. He's got a good grappling base, but his striking seems to be really improving. He's got solid fucking thud behind his shots, okay? He's not throwing the highest output on the feet. He doesn't crack the fucking hardest in the world. He's not the most elite fucking striker. His grappling isn't Khabib shit, okay? The Brazilian Paulo Costa Khabib. It's nothing like that. But he's no fucking Joe Schmo. Like, Kyle Borralho, not to sound white as fuck right there, but Kyle Borralho really is good as fuck. Like, there's a reason why he only has 1 loss in general, okay? Well-rounded. Can hang at a high pace, but also he knows how to be patient and technical, okay? But he also could be a finisher. Like, he kind of does it all. I feel like if he's facing somebody who can match his well-rounded skill set, okay, and also kind of has a bit of finishing ability, like a guy like Imavov, it's going to be a dangerous fucking clash here for Borralho, okay? Imavov is kind of a nightmare matchup, because I feel like Imavov, he has good ground and pound, he has good wrestling in general, on the offensive and defensive end of things, okay? And his striking seems to be improving a lot, just like Borralho, you know what I mean? Like, knocking out Izzy is a good fucking feat. Like, really finishing Izzy on the feet for the first time in his career is a crazy fucking thing. Even though it's old head Izzy and Unk Izzy, whatever the fuck, fighting for the last cigarette at the cookout, it is what it is. Like, it's still an Adesanya win. And Imavov, man, like, again, more losses than Borralho, but in general, like, he's losing up. Here's the fucking thing, you guys, like the Sean Stricklands of the world, okay? So, all due respect for both these guys here, I love this fight. My early prediction is going to be Imavov, to be honest here. Like, I like Borralho, and he puts on solid entertaining fights. He is well-rounded. He is impressive here, but I feel like this is just too high level of a fight for him right now. And I think that he can keep improving. I think that he can one day fight for the title, but I just think Chimaev would beat this guy. I think that DDP would beat him. I think that Imavov is going to get past him, okay? Borralho is good. I think he can beat a lot of the guys in the division, most of the division, and he's going to keep improving. But I think Imavov, this is just his time right now, okay? Both these guys are around the same age, and in the middle of their prime, but I'm just really liking what I'm seeing a bit more out of Imavov. And he's the more active fighter as well. That's the thing. Like, Borralho, he's a bit, like, he's consistent in the way he's winning, but he's also just a less active fighter in general. So I'm going with Imavov here, probably by a 48-47 decision. I think this is going to be a very close fight. It's going to be a back and forth. I feel like primarily going to be a striking battle here. I feel like both these guys want to keep the fight standing. I feel like, if anything, I could see them trying to mix it up on the ground, either or Borralho or Imavov here, but usually with both these guys' styles in general, like, yes, they can get fucking crazy knockouts here and there, but also I could see them kind of pacing it out, especially in the early goings in the fight, and just kind of maintaining the distance, figuring out the range, just trying to fucking piece each other up for the judges' scorecards. I don't think it's going to be a super heavy-paced scrap or a fucking banger of the year, but I do love this fight. I think it's great matchmaking. I really wanted to see this one, as a lot of people did, and it's a great Paris main event, so I'm going with Imavov. I think the betting odds are pretty fair here, pretty realistic here, and I'm going with Imavov via a pretty close decision, pretty fun back and forth, but Imavov ultimately probably getting the better shots, probably landing the better takedowns, or his takedown defense just holds up better in general. So I'm going with Imavov here. And moving on to the last one we got, my fucking home city of Chicago, baby. We got Jeff Neal taking on Carlos Prates. Now, Carlos Prates, I picked Ian Gary to beat this guy, okay? I really fucking did. I gotta be honest here, but I'm predicting him to beat Jeff Neal, okay? And this one is probably the least, I don't want to say the least competitive out of all 4 of these matchups, because I think that Jeff Neal does have a really good chance of winning. I think that he's a plus fucking 300 underdog, but I don't think he should be that big of a dog. I understand why, but I think Jeff Neal, he's an underrated boxer. He has good pop behind his shots. He's relatively kind of quick for being a welterweight here, and he can crack guys. I feel like he's comfortable with hanging in a clinch-heavy scenario and kind of stinking up a fight or pushing a guy against the fence a little too long, and that could be unfortunate for a fucking fan, okay? But also, he's got a lot of knockouts in his back pocket. He has some solid fucking pop behind his shots, okay? There's a reason why the motherfucker is called Hands of Steel. So I feel like you got a knockout artist in Jeff Neal versus a knockout artist in Carlos fucking Prates. And Carlos Prates, man, again, he's Ruffy's coming off a really fun fight against Ian Gary, and Jeff Neal's coming off a great win over RDA. Old man RDA. That's something I gotta fucking mention. But in still, like, both these guys are fucking coming off of impressive performances. Now, I know Prates lost in general, but I feel like there's a couple things he could have done differently in that performance against Gary to really get him the win. Like, if he applied a pressure earlier in the fight than besides the last, like, 4th and 5th round, like, he probably could have taken the 2nd and 3rd round in the judges' scorecard without gassing himself out, and he probably still could have ultimately won the fight without needing some kind of crazy knockout. He was really hunting for the knockout so fucking badly in that 5th round. He smelled the blood in the water, and Jesus Christ, he almost had him, but he wasn't really following up with all the right shots, or he wasn't applying enough fucking pressure, and he didn't get him out of there in the 5th, and I feel like he was so worried about it being a 5-rounder, or so just worried about making it to the 4th and 5th round okay and not being completely gassed because of smoking all the cigarettes or whatever the fuck, to where he was very slow in terms of the pacing, and he just wasn't throwing that much output on the feet in the early goings, in the early few rounds of the fight against Ian Gary. Ian Gary was piecing him the fuck up, actually following through with his combinations, shooting takedowns and ultimately failing a lot of them until the later ends of the fight, but it is what the fuck it is. So Carlos Prates, if he gets after it sooner in the fight, I feel like that's going to be his key to fucking victory here. And this is a 3-rounder, so it's going to play more into his favor here. So I feel like this is probably the least competitive of the 4 of the Fighting Nerds' fights, okay? But I don't mean that in a bad way. I really like this matchmaking. I'm glad this fight was rebooked. I was a fan of it in the first place. I'm just as big of a fan the fucking second time, okay? I rock with Jeff Neal. He can stink it up sometimes for sure, but I feel like for this fight, it's going to be a fucking banger, and both these guys are going to bring the fucking dog out of each other, okay? It's going to end in some kind of knockout. Jeff Neal has a fucking underdog chance, but Carlos Prates, I think, is just going to be too fucking much. He's going to learn a lot from the last performance against Ian Gary. I feel like he's going to apply a pressure early, hunt for the knockout, and again, the fact that it's a 3-rounder is going to play into his favor. And the guy has good cardio, we learned that as well. The fact that he was able to really efficiently, I guess, stay in the fight efficiently for all 5 rounds against Ian Gary, even if he wasn't throwing much output for the first half of the fight. He was still in it, you know what I mean? But even though he's smoking a pack of cigs a day or something around that, he still has good cardio. I think that's going to play into his favor here. He's got good takedown defense, as he showed in the Ian Gary performance. I don't think Jeff Neal's the type to shoot fucking takedowns anyways. And Carlos Prates, he's good in the clinch. He's got good elbows, and he's got good fucking power. So I feel like he'll be able to hang with Jeff Neal here, man. I'm going to be going with Carlos Prates by a round 3 knockout. I think it's going to be a really fun fight, and in the 3rd round, one of these guys is going to get some kind of fucking finish. Jeff Neal's durable, but he also can get taken out of there, so I'm going with Prates by a round 3 KO, okay? And that's going to be it for me predicting the Fighting Nerds' next fights here, man, okay? I like all these fights. I think each one of them is really good matchmaking. I mean, you got Gene Silva coming off of a win or 2 already this year. You got Carlos Prates, unfortunately, coming up short once, and then you got Mauricio Ruffy getting one of the best knockouts of the fucking year against Bobby Green. God damn it, Bobby! Against Bobby fucking Green, okay? So the Fighting Nerds are on fire still, man. I feel like the momentum is kind of dying down a bit, but these guys are all fighting within the next month or 2, so I feel like all the fight is going to come back, okay? Or all the hype, I'm sorry, is going to come back. And again, if you're following Full Violence, you already know that these motherfuckers are in your feed every damn day, okay? So thank you guys so very much for making this far in the video and giving me your time and attention. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Who do you think is going to win these matchups? What do you think of these matchups? What's your thought on them? And let me know your opinions in general, man. I would love to hear it. So all the smoke here. Appreciate you all a lot. Hope you have a good one, boys, and I will see you all next time.